Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we are going to be featuring a very unique pick in the Great League. Now these battles were submitted by a member of the community and feature KLINKLANG. Now KLINKLANG is a pure steel type Pokemon, and for the moveset, it has Thunder Shock as a fast move, so it does charge very quickly, and for the charge moves it has Mirror Shot and Zap Cannon. Now, Zap Cannon hits incredibly hard, so it has a ton of one-shot potential. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches, and let's take a look at KLINKLANG in action in the Great League. Hopping into the first match, incredible lead, Nidoqueen into Shadow Granbull. The opponent safe switches into Vigoroth, and unfortunately this team does not have a great response to a Vigoroth safe switch. Maybe if they had Poison Fanged with the Nidoqueen, then brought in the Sableye, but unfortunately Sableye does actually struggle in this matchup because the Shadow Claws, of course, are double resisted, and by the time that you get to the 2 foul plays that you need to take it out, the Vigoroth has already gotten to 2 moves and they're able to flip switch. Nidoqueen comes back in, tries to farm down, and just not able to do so. They will have to eat the body slam, but Nidoqueen can survive it, and it will all depend what they have in the back, and it's a Scrafty. Nidoqueen going straight for the Earth Power, recognizing the opponent would probably think it was a Poison Fang, and able to do some nice damage, and now can force the Scrafty to start shielding Poison Fangs. Now, KLINKLANG does not want to see Scrafty, so you absolutely do have to shield up here, and they're able to get off another Poison Fang that is so nice, and they're able to take it out. Granbull comes back in, but here's where KLINKLANG is ready to shine. Thunder Shock charges Mirror Shot so quickly, and Mirror Shot will do big damage onto the Shadow Granbull. And honestly, from this point, just Thunder Shock down, and that is a good game. Alright, match number 2, Nidoqueen versus Altaria. This is a pretty neutral matchup, but Nidoqueen does win the 2 shield. So Nidoqueen will typically commit both shields in this matchup. Altaria won't shield the first because in future Poison Fangs, they are going to be doing more, of course. And now the Nidoqueen going for Poison Fang number 2, and we are going to see the Altaria match shields here because they are wanting to get that second shield off, and Nidoqueen able to get to the 3rd Poison Fang, and Altaria has a tough decision to make. They do decide to double shield, and the Nidoqueen will match. So all shields down, Nidoqueen will be able to farm down the Altaria and leave with almost a Poison Fang loaded, and the opponent brings in an Azumarill, and this is what you love to see if you have KLINKLANG in the back. Now KLINKLANG comes in, the Azu builds up to a potential Hydro Pump. The question is, are they running it? And they are not. They only have Ice Beam. They switch into a Registeel, and Registeel is going to get Zap Cannon. Zap Cannon lands. Oh my goodness, does over half and lowers the attack. So this Flash Cannon is not going to be doing as much, and Sableye can safely overfarm and go for the kill shot with this foul play. Foul play does land. The Azu comes back in. They're close to another move, so opting to go for the foul play since they probably would have fallen short of the return. And Azu is going to throw, but from here, Azu is pretty far away from a move, and KLINKLANG with Thunder Shock and Mirror Shot charges so quickly. They're able to get to the Mirror Shot, which will be taking out the Azumarill, and that is a good game. Alright, hopping to the next match. Nidoqueen into Obstagoon, fantastic lead. The opponent safe swaps Deoxys, and that's something you absolutely love to see, as Sableye completely destroys the defense Deoxys safe switch. They can land a foul play, farm down, even if they have Thunderbolt, can safely tank a Thunderbolt, and leave already halfway to another foul play. The Obstagoon comes back in, probably looking to farm down. But the Sableye will be able to force a shield with this return, so even though the Obstagoon does get a lot of farm, they are now down on shields. The Nidoqueen comes back in, and the opponent has Kofagrigus in the back, and now they're going to bring in the KLINKLANG to match. I'm not sure how tanky KLINKLANG is, so they are going to shield up the Shadow Ball, and they're going for the nuke. Going for the Zap Cannon onto the very bulky Kofagrigus, and it lands, and it almost one-shots. They're able to farm down, back in comes the Obstagoon, and now going for the Mirror Shot, hoping for that attack drop, and they get the attack drop. That is so nice. The opponent goes for the Night Slash, which tells me they probably don't have the Cross Chop. Now they have a lot of energy here. Now the question is, what is that second move? No shielding, and it's the Hyper Beam, but it doesn't KO. Thanks to that attack drop from the Mirror Shot, the Hyper Beam not enough to KO. They shield up, and they're able to get to the last second Poison Fang. Almost dead. Nidoqueen able to clutch. All thanks to KLINKLANG and that incredibly clutch attack debuff from Mirror Shot. My goodness. Alright, another Altaria lead, and we know how the Nidoqueen is going to play this out, as oftentimes they will just play out the 2 shield here, as that's a pretty comfortable position to be in for the Nidoqueen. We are going to shield up the Sky Attack, but the Altaria not wanting to play out, instead choosing to get shield advantage and bringing in their Galarian Stunfisk. Galarian Stunfisk eats the Earth Power, and now they're going to counter with Sableye. Unfortunately, this team is double weak to Galarian Stunfisk, as Galarian Stunfisk handily beats both Nidoqueen and KLINKLANG, so good to see it on the save swap where you can align it with the Sableye. Here you definitely are going to want to come in with the KLINKLANG, as KLINKLANG will resist all charge moves from Altaria. Oh, and the opponent does a very nice catch. They're able to catch the Mirror Shot onto a Meganium. Now Meganium farms up a little bit, and now going to bring in the Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen definitely does have to shield here, but since Meganium is a pure grass type, they should be able to help get those shields back with the Poison Fang there, which is very nice. Now Meganium, unfortunately just not able to get to a move. I believe they may have overfarmed by 1 and they lose CMP. Huge mistake by the Meganium, as now they're going to be able to get farmed down by the KLINKLANG. They switch back out into Altaria, which does have a move, but Sky Attack is resisted. That's not going to do enough. KLINKLANG able to reach the Zap Cannon. This is neutral. This will be doing more than enough to take out the Altaria, and then they're able to Thunder Shock down the Meganium, and KLINKLANG closing strong, now 4-0 this set. Terrible lead in Game 5, gonna save switch into Sableye. Now the opponent farms up 3 Air Slashes on Skarmory, and then switches into Azumarill. But switching in Azumarill this late, Sableye can definitely flip this in the 2 shield, but they actually opt to no shield. Maybe hoping for farm on the Nidoqueen. I'm not sure I agree with that play, as you definitely could have fought for switch advantage since the opponent made the mistake of switching so late and not quite able to farm down, and they're going to have to burn a shield, because even this extra energy on Nidoqueen doesn't really flip the Nidoqueen versus Skarmory matchup, as Skarmory is incredibly dominant. The Sky Attack will come very close to KO and doesn't quite KO. They are able to get off the Poison Fang, but an Air Slash goes through, and they're going to defer the Air Slash onto KLINKLANG. KLINKLANG going straight for the Mirror Shot. The opponent recognizes it, lets it go. They're going to be able to throw a move. You have to let this go and just hope that whatever is in the back is also weak. It's a Shadow Swampert, and unfortunately, being double weak to water is a little rough there. So 4-1 set, hopping into the next set, and it looks like they switched up the team. So now they're running Galarian Stunfisk, Pelipper, and KLINKLANG. And pretty neutrally, Galarian Stunfisk into the Victory Bell, save swap into Pelipper, and baits out a Bastiodon. Now, unfortunately, since they did take some Razor Leaf damage, Bastiodon will be able to farm down before they reach the 3rd Weather Ball, which is unfortunate, but Galarian Stunfisk can tank a Flamethrower. That's fine there, and they should be able to outpace to the Earthquake here, but it looks like they're going for the farm down, and unfortunately, Bastiodon will reach a move since they were able to farm down the Pelipper. Aggressive switch into the Victory Bell and going for the kill shot with the Earthquake, and it is shielded. That is unfortunate. Able to get to a 2nd Earthquake. No baiting here, wanting to force the shields or KO. Able to get both shields, and now brings in the KLINKLANG. Now this could be the Acid Spray, shielding it up, and it's the Acid Spray. That is so unfortunate, and now going to be going for the Zap Cannon there. Zap Cannon, even though it's resisted, definitely going to be taking them out. They bring in the Bastiodon. Can they farm down with Thunder Shocks? And they do. All depends what's in the back, and it's an Azumarill. Oh my goodness, going for the Zap Cannon here. Almost one-shots. They do get farmed down. They bring back in the Galarian Stunfisk, and Galarian Stunfisk on 1 HP, able to get to the Rock Slide and clutch out the win. Oh my goodness, what a close game. Hopping into the next match and a commanding lead. Galarian Stunfisk into Skarmory. They save swap into the Azumarill. And Azumarill throws before they would reach the Hydro Pump. Yeah, that's just a play rough. Granted, Klinklang, it appears to be very glassy. So even a play rough does a lot, but firing back hard with the Zap Cannon, that takes them out. They bring in Swampert, so very interesting. A Skarmory double water strategy, double weak to Klinklang, but now Klinklang is going to be aligned with the Swampert. Nice bit of lag, and the Swampert does decide to throw to take them out. But since they've won switch advantage, they'll be able to align the Swampert with the Pelipper, and this is a very comfortable matchup for Pelipper, as Pelipper significantly outpaces the Swampert. They get to the Weather Ball way before the Swampert gets to the Sludge Wave. Sludge Wave comes through, that gets shielded, yeah, and it's absolutely miserable if you are the Swampert in that matchup. They try and catch onto Skarmory, but a very nice job of holding the energy, and now bringing in the Galarian Stunfisk as it absolutely destroys Skarmory. Skarmory can go for Sky Attack after Sky Attack, and that's just not going to be doing enough damage. Another Rock Slide. We'll need 2 more Rock Slides to take it out, but this is what Galarian Stunfisk is good for. It's a very strong anti-flyer. Not applying a lot of fast move pressure, of course, with Mud Shot, but if they want to, could potentially be farm down range. They try and snipe with the Swampert, but able to quickly switch into the Pelipper and force the shield with the Weather Ball. Now they can very safely shield this if they want to. The Hydro Cannon bait, but it's not going to matter. This Weather Ball will be taking out the Swampert, and from here the opponent should recognize that the game is over. They bring in the Skarmory, and they concede the match right before they get farmed down. So nice lead, but very nicely played, recognizing the opponent's swaps. Now this is a neutral lead, but again, a bit of a rough lead for the Galarian Stunfisk. They do go for the Shadow Ball, which does a lot, but Stunfisk is able to hit back hard with the Earthquake. Going for the Earthquake, that lands, that does a nice chunk of damage, and going for the Rock Slide, it should just be outside of Rock Slide range here, but they do decide to shield it up, and there's a nice amount of lag there. And you probably can just let this go and farm down with either one of the back 2 Mons, but they bait with the Bubble Beam. Huge misplay by the opponent, and now they're going to be able to force the second shield or take them out. Able to force the second shield, so we'll happily exchange switch advantage for a 2 shield advantage. Pelipper will have to tank the Shadow Ball, but can farm down and now has a commanding 2-0 shield advantage. Now the opponent does bring in a Skarmory, farms up a bunch of energy, switches into Klinklang, but they have G-Fisk in the back. So this is looking very, very rough. You're going to have to throw as many mirror shots as possible, try and stall out the clock, and then snipe with the loaded energy onto Pelipper. Tough call, has to commit the shield, and they Earthquake. So a correct shield call, that's massive. And again, have to shield here and just try and stall out the clock as long as possible. Clock is coming up. They switch out. They're able to get the wing attack through, and they have the back-to-back Weather Balls. Let's see if the G-Fisk recognizes it. They do not. Able to go for the back-to-back, and this will be taking out the Galarian Stunfisk, and now they have the Zap Cannon loaded in the back to take out the Skarmory, but Pelipper is not done. Pelipper able to get to the Weather Ball, and from here, Zap Cannon from the Klinklang. Hello, Skarmory. Goodbye, Skarmory. And that is a good game. All right, we have Stunfisk into Unova Stunfisk. So the battle of the Stunfisks. This is a very bait-dependent matchup if you're the Galarian Stunfisk. Going for the Earthquake and does get shielded. And this puts the Galarian Stunfisk at a pretty big disadvantage, as the Unova Stunfisk can spam out these Mud Bombs very consistently, so they get a lot more consistent damage, whereas the Galarian form has to kind of go for broke. They're able to get to another Earthquake here. Let's see if we can land it, and it's the shield, and I think you just have to let this go. Can't come in with the Klinklang, has to come in with Pelipper, but it should be outside of Weather Ball range, which is very, very tough. Going to be going for the Weather Ball, does get them low, but has to respect the Discharge. Discharge is definitely one-shotting. Shields up there, and Pelipper able to get there, going to win the CMP tie, which is very nice, and that will take out the Unova Stunfisk, and they have Hypno in the back. Now, Hypno will often have Thunder Punch. That's something to watch for, a potential catch on a Thunder Punch. They do farm up past the Thunder Punch, so maybe they're not running it. This is enough for the Shadow Ball, but nope, they actually do just go for the Thunder Punch. They were just over farming there, and I believe this should be the Shadow Ball. it is. Shadow Ball does a lot of damage there. And now going to be going for the Zap Cannon, and you have to hope it's something in bag that they can one-shot. And it's an Azumarill. Come on, KLINKLANG, get there. Get there. KLINKLANG gets there. Now the question is this going to be enough to fully one-shot an Azu? It gets so close, and just not enough damage. Azu able to take out the KLINKLANG. A heartbreaking end to that match. Hopping into the final match of the set, and a very nice lead. Galarian Stunfisk into Galvantula. They save swap Azumarill, and KLINKLANG is here. Landing the Zap Cannon, that's huge. Calling no Hydro Pump. Again, they show they don't have it. So now KLINKLANG can just farm down. Now, unfortunately, KLINKLANG in turn will get farmed down by the Galarian Stunfisk, going for the double resisted Zap Cannon here. That still doesn't do a whole lot, but does lower the attack and able to get to a Mirror Shot. Hopefully this will get the attack debuff as well. And now going to aggressively switch into their own Galarian Stunfisk, recognizing that it's very strong against the rest of their team. And the opponent does a very nice catch, catching the Earthquake onto the Galvantula. Earthquake not quite able to KO, and Lunge really doesn't phase Galarian Stunfisk. It can safely tank that, and it's going to be able to farm down and leave with energy. And since this is their last mon and they have 2 shields, you can pretty safely bait here. Goes for the Rock Slide, able to get the shield. Looking to swap, unfortunately not quite able to do so. And from here, Pelipper should be able to comfortably close this match. Pelipper does come in. And, oh, what a beautiful catch onto the KLINKLANG. What a sack swap to end the match. Comes back in with a Pelipper, going for the Weather Ball. And this game is over. And the opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. So all in all, some very fun sets with KLINKLANG. KLINKLANG does hit very hard with the Zap Cannon, but unfortunately a lack of good coverage moves really limits its viability in the Great League meta, but still impressive work by this trainer, managing to get back-to-back positive sets with it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible, so thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.